During today's session, we will cover how a compromised credential can lead to a data breach and what cybercriminals do with credentials once they've obtained them, current landscapes of threats against SMBs and how they are evolving with increased remote workforces, and action steps you can take now to educate your employees and create a culture of cybersecurity. Compromised credentials are becoming more and more common, but the danger of these exposures goes beyond the individual. As you can see by the types of attacks shown here, the majority of these breaches are happening because of a credential that has been exposed. All it takes is one employee to potentially give away the keys to your entire network, whether it be from a business email compromise, a cloud misconfiguration, or something else. The threat to your business does not necessarily lie within the four walls of your business. Your employees are creating accounts on many different types of third-party websites. They're using their work email addresses and often the same password or same variation of a password for these accounts. Once the third-party website is breached, cybercriminals are able to test passwords that they obtain on other, more dangerous websites. Previous employees can also pose serious risk if their passwords on any of these accounts is still active. An example, a business owner saw the dark web scan run by the Dark Web ID platform. She noticed that there was an employee who had been terminated years prior, but the password was familiar to her. Upon further investigation, the business owner realized that the password visible on the dark web scan was still the active password for the company's bank account, with access to millions of dollars in credit lines. Having this visibility not only helped the company avoid a catastrophic breach, it also allowed the HR team to implement better and more secure onboarding or offboarding processes. As you build a cybersecurity framework for your organization, it is important to think about the concept of zero trust. You must go in with the assumption that everyone has been compromised and credentials have already been exposed. It isn't about stopping or preventing the exposure, but ensuring that you have visibility into cyber risk and controlling what you control internally. This means making sure the right people have the right secure access to the right machines, using the right privileges, and then ultimately monitoring for that compromised exposure. As you are building this cybersecurity framework, another serious thing to consider is compliance. It is now mandatory for small to medium-sized businesses to adhere to state laws and regulations related to data protection. GDPR set the standard in Europe, and these laws are being implemented across all 50 states, with California and New York mimicking these standards most closely. The next several slides are going to show you how your information or your company's information can be sold on the dark web. Here is a database of French passport scans and a copy of utility bill. You can see that the price point is pretty low and you're able to easily steal someone's identity. This is another identity theft example. Here's one with an ID card. Check out the cost. Not very expensive to start compiling information that can help a cybercriminal commit identity fraud. Here is an example of a credit card data dump. This isn't limited to the United States either, and you get a discount if you buy in bulk quantities. These cybercriminals even offer customer service to their customers. Here's an interesting customer service angle. You'll have access to qualified support and provide feedback with a 100% response rate. They even curate your fraud for you. This is the Clone Card crew. They are providing various credit card dumps and rely on positive customer reviews to gain business. This illustrates how legitimate these operations are. They function like an Amazon marketplace. Businesses are a common target for dark web criminals because businesses tend to have money. Also, it allows the criminal to feel better about stealing from Main Street Flowers because they just stick in it to the corporations. This screenshot shows how you can purchase the data about employees from various companies, varying in size. This screenshot illustrates yet another aspect of the customer service that these operations are offering. This seller has ratings based on communication and quality. This screenshot is super interesting. Since cybercriminals rely on their reputation on the dark web, they will sell reviews to other cybercriminals. This is a classic example of supply and demand on the dark web. This data set is so popular that it's sold out. Another interesting tidbit, anytime you see "fulls" with a Z on a data set, it means that there is enough information provided to commit identity theft. This is a perfect representation of the legitimacy of the dark web. Our analysts pulled this job posting, which looks exactly like something you might see on Indeed or LinkedIn. As we see a rise in video conferencing with remote employees, cybercriminals are taking advantage of vulnerable users. Zoom accounts were posted on the dark web. Individuals were using this to troll various meetings, including in classrooms. Ransomware as public extortion has become a favorite of cybercriminals. Essentially, they will use the data obtained in a ransomware attack to publicly extort an organization. If a company refuses to pay the ransom, they will threaten the organization by releasing their data on the dark web regardless. This would ruin the reputation of the organization and put them in an impossible situation. Ransomware as a service is another popular attack strategy. Cybercriminals are able to sign up for ransomware as a service and gain access to ready-made ransomware campaigns and have a monthly list of targets. This gives them a time and cost-efficient way of targeting multiple organizations. Phishing kits are another efficient way for cybercriminals to cause some serious damage. Kits are available for purchase that allows an individual to create fake landing pages for various websites that can be used in a phishing attack. It's so easy and even includes all of the necessary code. Here's an example of the Facebook landing page. Can you tell which one is real? Here is an example of the eBay landing page. Which one do you think is real? And if you thought it couldn't get any worse, here is a US-based bank example of a landing page. Which one's real? The following are examples of various phishing attacks designed to target individuals during the COVID-19 pandemic. Cybercriminals will use various types of phishing attacks designed to capture credentials. It is critical to train employees on how to spot a phishing email. This is done through simulations, security awareness training, and ultimately creating a culture of cybersecurity. Let's take a look at some examples. This one looks like it's coming from the Human Resources Department. You can see key indicators highlighted. These are the things your employees should be on the lookout for. Fake email address, it's too generic, there's too much urgency, things like this. This one contains a link from the CDC, something that many individuals would be likely to click. Did you know that text messages are another way that phishing attacks may be delivered? This one is related to the UK stimulus payments. Phishing attacks may be on the rise, but there are steps you can take to prepare your employees. This is a great infographic you can share that will outline those key indicators we saw in the phishing snapshots. Major events like the coronavirus pandemic create new opportunities for cybercriminals to exploit, but Smart Defense doesn't let them. These tips can help keep systems and data safer in uncertain times. Creating a culture of cybersecurity is the best way that you can prepare your employees for incoming attacks. Creating a cybersecurity stack isn't a one-size-fits-all solution for every organization. You must evolve and be proactive with solutions that you implement, starting with education and training for your employees. I want to thank you for joining me today and learning more about how your company's information can be exploited on the dark web. If you would like to learn more, visit us at www.applyinginnovation.com/darkweb. Have a great day.